There is sin and misery in the house of the rising sun. Well, I got one foot on the platform, the other foot on the train. I'm going back to New Orleans, to where that ball and chain. Yeah, that red clouds in New Orleans, they go there rising sun. There's me in the ruin of many a poor boy. Ain't God, I know I'm one. Ain't God, I know I'm one. Ain't God, I know I'm one.
This is the dawning of the age of awareness. Welcome to the RealMightyJoe show. RealMightyJoe, and
Got soul in the building, baby.
hey, it's been a while since you've seen this cat.
Been a while.
How many shows ago? It's been about 20 shows. 20 shows ago, I think.
Yeah. Well, probably at least
you've
10.
You've still done the most.
10 or 11, yeah. No, we've done at least 10
This
or
is number 70.
13.
This is
I
number
think me and
70.
him have done 13 together. Good to see you guys.
14 now.
Got my damn hat and shit on today. We're painting my jacket in this one. Hey, but we had some big news tonight, guys. Joe here, he's prepared a great show for you guys. I want to kind of give him a little introduction.
I actually didn't have time to prepare because this guy's been fucking over my house, and
don't let him lie to you. Don't let him lie to you. No,
No,
we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Beat the bag out.
Well. The main thing is basically we can just beat the bag out of that sham fucking hearing that happened today.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. But yeah, we'll get into that in a little minute.
We can do that.
Oh yeah, another thing, we got the music side of the segment tonight. You guys stay tuned to
let me shut this shit up. Yeah.
Come into the little music side of the segment. We're gonna do some jams tonight. I think we're just gonna kind of just loosely do whatever happens. I don't know. We don't have a plan for that either. Just like life throws you bullshit, and you make fucking bullshit salad. You know
We're back to the roots. I mean, this is how the show started originally. It's me and Soul hanging out and getting high and fucking.
Not
making
fucking,
music,
but
making music and just doing the thing,
How are you doing, Indy? It's good to see you or hear from you.
Yeah.
You can see me, I can't see you, but
it's like something like
in the jungle, mighty jungle,
lion sleeps tonight. In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps tonight.
Come on, music.
Village, the peaceful village, the lion sleeps tonight. Ooh, I say, in that village, that peaceful village, the lion sleeps tonight. And we say, we more, oh, 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 we more, we more, oh, 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 we more. So it's funny that it's the first song that came to your head with that, because what I was thinking was like, I was thinking more like something like, one good thing about music, when it hits, you feel no pain. So hit me with music, brutalize me with music. So hit me with music, brutalize me with music. Trench down rockets and do much now. Trench down rockets and big fish on fire. Trench down rockin' reap what you sow. Trench down rockin' and never run away. One good thing about music, when it hits, when it hits, when it hits, you feel no. One good thing about music, when it hits, you feel no. Keep going there. Tap, tap, keep it on. Keep it on. We got blues in it.
warm up jams for everybody. Praying to them. Doing some love. We're just fucking around. Probably started off a little rough, but that's how we warm up. Cheers, Marty. Love doing the show with you no matter what happens. Doesn't matter if we got a 0 on the board or got 50
That's just
up
trying
in
to
there.
break
Yeah.
our. That's just trying to break our rhythm, man. We got probably at least the CIA watching us, if nothing else.
Yeah, no. What's funny is it should have
And
a
I bet
couple
I got
ones
like
in front
I
of
got
it.
like 2-3 agents. How many you think you got? Like you probably got like a couple, right?
I don't
Like
know.
a couple few.
I don't
So I
think
mean,
they care.
like,
You know?
I just think between our agent squad, we got like 6 people watching, even when it says 0. You know, that's a true story.
So like, yeah, with the fuck, what was we gonna talk about? I was
But the actual real story is that this shit lags like a motherfucker. And I noticed for like a record, like watch this, right? We can go and like later, like see who's like watching us, like view our own shit real quick. It'll echo. I got like watch this, right? But like it says 0 over there, right? What's it gonna say over here? Let's see. Maybe it's 0 too. Well, let's see. It says streamed 12 minutes ago. Does that mean it ended? They trying to fuck with us. Yeah. I don't know, man.
Are we
still
even live?
No, we're live. I guess nobody's watching, man. Wrong
Well,
time of day.
you know what? It doesn't really matter because we got a lot of shit
They'll
to
watch
go
it later.
through, man. Like I was gonna say, can't base your life off of things like that. We just have a good time. We'll sit here and have a good
I don't
conversation.
worry about none of that shit, but I gotta exit that out so we don't play. Oh shit, that's it again. And it says nobody's watching it. Nobody's watching me. Ain't no privacy. Hey, wait.
Well, now's a good time to go ahead and spark that
I
joint
got
up.
a feeling nobody's watching me. We got all that privacy, yeah. Nobody's watching. Oh, got a feeling nobody's watching me. We got all the fucking privacy. Yeah.
Yo, we had 3 people in here. What the fuck happened?
They probably got booted, man. I don't know. We're still online. I'll just keep going with the show, man. We'll see what happens.
Well, the first things first is this fucking hearing.
It's long, man.
Nah, we ain't gotta watch all that. I just want to go over and talk some shit with you.
Hold
This
on,
fucking
we got-
guy,
hold on, I
before we
gotta-
even get into
No,
it.
we're gonna basically go with the LBRY. Yeah, go ahead, because you haven't seen this shit today.
I haven't
right?
seen it, the whole
So
thing.
you're gonna be a true.
So
react.
I heard
You're
that,
gonna
yeah,
be a
no, but
clean react
this is
all
what's
night.
crazy,
Yeah,
Joe,
yeah.
is I heard
Our
all this
family's
shit
here.
on,
Don't do that.
I heard this
Somebody popular is probably live streaming.
I heard this shit on fucking, what was it? Yet today, I was driving doing my papers, Joe, and I just sparked this up a dude, by the way, yeah, so.
CBD, yeah, North Carolina. Let's go.
Yeah, just
back
a
pain.
dude.
I got
Just a
back pain.
dude.
I got back pain.
But anyway, so
Doop.
I'm riding around delivering papers, and you know me, I like to listen to the anti-heroes all the time.
Sure,
I like
yeah.
to listen to just people that are just giving both perspectives of what the general fucking bullshit media is saying, right? But I actually listen to the bullshit media too, because you want to hear it for yourself, right? Like, these people actually say this shit.
Right.
This fucking goddamn shit on our local media, right? Like, it's like, what do they call that? 90.5, it's the jazz station.
Yeah.
This guy's going on about giving the dissertation of the guard. It was the guard that was at the front door of the Capitol building on the day of the insurrection, or whatever the fuck they're trying to call it right now. And the guy is he's saying that the guy said, "This is our house. We were invited here," like giving this crazy testimony. And I'm blown away. I'm listening to this. I'm like, listen to these fucking clowns, dude. Like, these fucking.
So I gotta get you up at least something with a little bit of a video react. So we're gonna make a big screen. So I'm just gonna tell you what's going on here. So Project Veritas released a video today. That was an unreleased interview with AOC right after the Capitol insurrection, where she compared the insurrection to like sexual violation and like sexual stuff, and they decided not to run it. But somebody from inside CNN leaked it to Project Veritas today, so they put it out there. They took down their YouTube video of it. They took down James O'Keefe's Facebook channel, a bunch of other shit, like trying to
James
censor this
O'Keefe?
shit. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, so straight up, dude. So somebody made this. This is a meme that somebody made off of the footage because it had gotten taken offline already. But we can watch the whole thing. We maybe check that out later.
There's a lot of sexualizing
shit.
of that violence. And I didn't think that I was just going to be killed. I thought other things were going to happen to me as well.
So what sounds like what you're telling me right now is that you didn't only think that you were going to die, you thought you were going to be raped.
Absolutely fucking not.
There's a lot of sexualizing.
Jesus, Lord.
Sorry.
Hey guys, we're back. What's up, Big
I
Chop?
thought that was funny.
What up, Big Chop? Here in the
Big
building.
Chap.
If you guys are just tuning in, we're gonna do some reaction videos, some rants. We already did.
So we're gonna actually watch this Capitol bullshit that happened today. We're gonna pause it and interrupt it like frequent fuckingly. Well, we're just gonna go ahead and just start it going.
You ready to get some sense of media?
Let me.
We look at each other during the stream. Like, come
on. I'm gonna get this like.
We're
all right.
fucking looking at
so
each
the
other.
January 6th commission. This is the Joe and Soul react live in our current mood together.
Hey,
so we'll pause it as much as we need.
Listen, we gotta look at each other to give the reactions. Like every
look at them already.
Know,
they're already shaking hands and being all weird. We can do it like this so we can like be bigger than them.
Look me in the eye.
Do you want to be bigger than them? We're bigger than them.
You little dirty slut. Look me in the eye.
Can you see it though? You can't even see it.
Yeah, I'll have to.
Shady fuckers are shaking hands. We gotta mute our own mic so it don't echo when they start talking and shit. So we're gonna pause it to like bitch at these fuckers for you guys. Because this is like bullshit. Like, look at all, they're all shaking hands like shady freaking goddamn Illuminati fucking best friend Masonic fucks though, right? Already like right out the gate, like, you know.
It's just since you shut that one.
There's not a single damn, there's 2 Republicans, alright, so it's 5 Democrats and 2 Republicans that are 100% rhinos, admitted rhinos.
Will you grab us a beer? First off, I know you want it that way, but the camera can't see my reaction at all.
They can't see us at all right now. They can just hear us.
Let them just see
our
your
mic's
butt.
live. They're not talking. I'm going to mute my mic when this asshole starts talking. And then we're going to wait until we find a good place to pause it. And we'll discuss. It'll be like 2-minute, 3-minute intervals, and we'll break it and talk. This asshole's about to speak, so I'm about to mute us. Anything you want to say before we go into the dark side of listening to this bullshit, Soul?
Oh. Alright, Constitution. That's all I want to say.
This is the January 6th hearing about the insurrection. We'll correct the record as we go.
A quorum being present, the Select Committee to investigate the January 6th attack on the United States Capitol will be in order. The Select Committee is meeting today to receive testimony on the law enforcement experience on January 6th. Without objection, the chair is authorized to declare the committee in recess at any time. I now recognize myself for an opening statement. Let me say a few words at the outset about this committee's work and how, as chairman, I plan to run things. We're going to be guided solely by the facts of what happened on January 6th in the run up to that tragic day and what has taken place since. That's what we're charged to do by House Resolution 503. There's no place for politics or partisanship in this investigation. Our only charge is to follow the facts where they lead us. And while we have a lot to uncover, there are a few things we already know. We know that the insurrection on January 6th was a violent attack that involved vicious assault on law enforcement. We know there's evidence in a coordinated planned attack. We know that men and women who stormed the Capitol wanted to derail the peaceful transfer of power in the...
All right.
Okay.
So Saul's got some shit to
Okay,
say.
so basically, we just kind of had their first little speech introduction. They had to, like you said, prepare, Big Chop, I like the way you think. I think that's probably one of the worst trials to date, considering as we've had lots of people around the Capitol building, and considering that they let them in. There's enough security in the Capitol building. I'm not even going to go into that.
So I love that you haven't seen this yet, and this is your already immediate reaction. You haven't even getting out, like, he hasn't even seen the bad part yet. I listened to this shit all day today at work.
Yeah, right.
So, like, he hasn't even begun to get into how bad this shit is. Like,
so basically,
this kid's watching this fresh. His fresh reaction.
I've heard some things, and I watched some different media today, or not watched, but listened to, because as I drive for a living, so I have to deliver things. So I'm listening to all this different media and these different things that are going on. But for me, the one biggest thing that I hear that's constantly repeated is insurrection. Okay,
which is
and
a defined term. And
this
so like
term is one of the strongest terms I've ever heard used for what happened.
So it's a defined crime under the FBI, and it has a very specific term.
Okay, and then we listened last time during the stream, or last time I was with Joe. No, it's right there on the ground. I kicked it to you. It's over there. Last time I was on the show, we listened to these people talk about this, and we also listened. You totally got me off track, but I'm trying to get back to it.
Yeah,
is that there was an FBI? There were plenty of FBI agents in the crowd of that quote unquote insurrection.
Just keep going. Like he's mad already. Like,
no, but I just want to say this one more thing.
Enough,
there were DEA agents. There were federal agents in the crowd. So
all right, good enough reaction. Keep going. All right, everybody's seeing this maybe for the first time, so we're gonna.
This country, we know that 7 people lost their lives, that more than 140 police officers suffered injuries. We know that efforts to subvert our democracy are ongoing, and a major part of the Select Committee's work will be to find ways to eliminate that threat. We also know that the rioters came dangerously close to succeeding. If not for the heroism of the United States Capitol Police and the Metropolitan Police Department, many more lives might have been lost, and the rioters could have accomplished what they set out to do, upend American democracy. It's an honor to have 4 of these heroes sitting before us today. We welcome them for appearing here, and more importantly, for your heroism on January 6th. You have the gratitude of this committee and this country. You held the line that day. I can't overstate what was on the line, our democracy. You held the line. We're going to revisit some of those moments today, and it won't be easy, but history will remember your names and your actions. And it's important to think about history as this committee
we will remember your fucking name.
As we hear from these
Don't worry about that.
men and to get answers for the American people, because we need to understand our history if we want to understand the significance of what happened on January 6th and our role as members of the People's House. I'm talking about the peaceful transfer of power. 200 years ago, in 1801, the House of Representatives did one of its jobs laid out in the Constitution. After a deadlock in the Electoral College, this body cast 36 ballots and ultimately settled the contest for President of the United States. What followed was the first peaceful transfer of power in our country's history. We know that since then, our history has been far from perfect. We've been torn apart and brought back together. We've struggled across generations to make our country's great vision a reality for all Americans. We won victories and we've suffered failures. But the peaceful transfer of power has stood as the pillar of our democracy. It's one of those things we rely on, a safeguard that we hold close, because as heated and angry and divided as we may be, whatever victories we celebrate or upheavals we endure, we can rest easy knowing that when the moment comes, our system guarantees that one party will hand the reins to another if that's the will of the people. And while our institutions endured, and while Joe Biden is the legitimately elected president of the United States, a peaceful transfer of power didn't happen this year. It did not happen. Let that sink in. Think about it. A violent mob was pointed toward the Capitol and told to win a trial by combat. Some descended on this city with clear plans to disrupt our democracy. One rioter said that they weren't there to commit violence, but that, I'm quoting, "We are just there to overthrow the government." I want to repeat that. I urge everyone to listen to those words and think about what they mean. We were just there to overthrow the government. They marched on the Capitol with the clear intentions of stopping the certification of the election. And when they encountered the police sworn to keep us safe, they went on the attack with bear spray, knives, tasers, hockey sticks, even flagpoles.
Hello, are we back? Are we still
with
muted?
the American flag still attached. And those rioters
Yeah,
breached
we're
the
good.
Capitol.
We're live.
They smashed windows, scaled walls, broke down doors, and invaded the halls of Congress.
Man, I would love to see the video of the description of this bullshit. Here's my
Yeah,
whole
no,
thing.
for real.
Because
Tell 'em,
as these
tell
guys
'em.
go, as these guys go, they describe the most Rambo, badass shit, most incredible attack ever. We're gonna see some sketchy ass video from a tunnel from the only body cam that just now became available, where it's always pointed down and like there's only like two people visible, and it's like, oh, the worst thing that ever happened in my life, worse than Iraq, worse than this, and you watch grown men cry. I'm sorry, I have zero fucking pity for these police officers. Anybody who was injured in an actual conflict, I have zero support for violence. I don't support anybody hurting anybody and this and that. But bottom line is like, you know, if they're going to push us against each other, this is going to happen. And I hope that fucking people like realize that we're being pitted against each other, and it's not us versus each other. It's us versus the other fuckers, man. Yeah, what do you got to say, man?
We all have our duty as
Like, fuck
American
that shit.
citizens and people of the United States to go ahead and change this.
I'm not trying to hurt nobody. But if you try to hurt me, I'll finish
quit
it.
talking.
That's
It's
it.
my turn.
Yeah.
I think that we all have to come together and do the best that we can do. And hopefully we aren't muted anymore. But
No, we're good to go.
the one thing that I have to say is that I'm not sure if this is completely correct.
Let's keep going. Let's keep going on this bullshit video, dude. Let's see where it goes. We got so much more to go.
It was a scene of violence in the citadel of our democracy, not seen since 1814, when British soldiers sacked the building. They raced through the hallways chanting, "Hang Mike Pence, where's Nancy?" They stormed onto the Senate floor because they wanted to stop the Senate from certifying the election. The rioters tried to take over the House floor for the same reason. Thankfully, some astute young staff member had the presence of mind to grab the physical electoral ballots for safekeeping. These rioters were organized. They were ready for a fight, and they came close to succeeding. It's frightening to think about how close we were. A few inches of wood and glass. An officer turning left instead of turning right. But just describing that attack doesn't come close to capturing what actually took place that day. So we're going to see some of what our witnesses saw on January 6th. Let's see the video, please. But please be advised that it contains graphic images and strong language, which many may find disturbing.
brother, we're boots on the ground here. We're moving on to Capitol now. I'll give you a boots on the ground update here in a few.
Multiple capital entries. Multiple capital entries.
Give a common thread throughout all these videos as you watch. You're going to see that these people, they continuously will repeat a lot of words through their testimony. They'll be extremely repetitious. They're going to try and promote these scenes of violence, right? So I've been watching this since it all started. I saw every stitch of video that got leaked on the spot by live cameras before everything got censored. I've seen hours and hours and hours of footage of this from every fucking angle you could think of. The shit they released today is the sloppiest footage I've seen so far. And you always hear these very loud agitators, like voices throughout every single one of these clips. But you never see a single one of their faces throughout this entire hearing mouthing these words, meaning that these could be audio overlays. These could be all sorts of crazy things. No conspiracy theory here. I'm just saying that there's you're gonna and the witness testimony is going to be extremely repetitive. They're going to say key phrasing over and over again. You're going to watch a bunch of grown men cry. It's sad. It's sad shit, man. Yeah, anything else you want to say before I keep going?
Yeah, but I think that what's going on is they compared this. One thing I had in a point was that I know my eyes look dead because I'm just so over this bullshit right now that I'm hearing. They compared the quote-unquote insurrection to the British soldiers sacking a Capitol building.
Oh yeah.
So this is
it's not even close.
They're talking beyond treason. So this is
they're gonna label them as terrorists throughout this whole testimony. It's insane. It's insane. Yeah. Let's keep going.
We're still taking metal, sharpened objects, missiles to include bottles and rocks, and hand-thrown chemical-grade fireworks.
Pay attention again to that list of specific items, because you'll hear repetitive testimony that repeats these same talking points over and over again. And it looks like if a bunch of parents get together with a bunch of little kids and they squeeze them for information and they all pretend to tell the same story, that's exactly how this sounds. And if you've ever been a parent in that situation, you would recognize this easily.
A few inches of wood and glass. An officer turning left instead of turning right. But just describing that attack doesn't come close to capturing what actually took place that day. So we're going to see some of what our witnesses saw on January 6th. Let's see the video, please. But please be advised that it contains graphic images and strong language, which many may find disturbing.
Hey, brother, we're boots on the ground here. We're moving on to Capitol now. I'll give you a boots on the ground update here in a few.
Multiple capital entries. Multiple capital entries. We're still taking metal, sharpened objects, missiles to include bottles and rocks, and hand-thrown chemical-grade fireworks.
gotta comment on the douchebag fucking like just staring off in outer space. It's like waiting for it's like because they don't have any actual footage of people being violent, they need to just like make all these noises in the background happen and then just watch the reactions of the people, the brave people standing up to testify. You know, like, what the fuck was that? Like, show me that on the video. Why did you click it? Why did they cut away them multiple times throughout this? Because they actually have zero fucking footage of people being violent, except for some doctored fucking body cam footage they try and cram through towards the end of the hearing that just looks like dumb bullshit, like, made after the fact, and probably not even filmed on that day, from my opinion. Let's keep going. Sorry, I'm loud.
This is now effectively a riot.
1349 hours declaring it a riot.
Okay, guys, apparently this tip of the spear has entered the Capitol building.
If I give this up, they're going to have to recognize us. At least this Capitol we can defend. We got to hold what we have.
Take your pins off.
Yeah. The fuck?
Take your pins off.
I do just want, like, anybody who watches my show to just, like, look at the fact that they haven't showed a single clear shot of anybody saying any of these agitating words with their mouths moving. Not a single one, not once. And they're trying to basically, it's like they're making a music video. There's not a single thing here that shows anything. Not a stitch of footage. So this is a congressional hearing. This is supposed to be a congressional hearing to find the truth of what happened. And you're going to hear about, well, how did you feel in that moment? How did you feel in that moment? How did you feel in that moment as they talk to every single witness? Right. Because they don't give a flying fuck about the actual truth. So this is just despicable, like dumb bullshit, like montage. You know what? I have hours and hours and hours of video that prove that it was peaceful and they let them in. And like your little fucking 30-second montage doesn't really stand up much to that. I think you guys fucking slam fucking dunked and lost. Like you fucking, you didn't slam dunk. You slam kerplunked, man. It was terrible. Like no win on this. Like let's.
Has pranked 1033. I repeat, 1033 was from the Capitol. We have been pranked and we've lost the life.
Magically, the first we've ever seen of this footage. And the entire time, it's shitty camera angles, and nobody's on camera speaking words that they're speaking. Pay attention. This is bullshit. This is filmed after the fact. I want a forensic audit on this video footage. That's what I would like, personally, as a citizen, because I think that this shit that was entered into the fucking house today, or whatever the fucking bullshit sham crap they were pulling, you know, like, I want this forensically audited because I believe this was filmed after the fact or on that day after the threat was long over. They filmed a couple scenes like this one, most likely. This is absolute bullshit. I never saw a single stitch of footage so far that looks like this. And we got 14,000 hours of footage that haven't been released. Like, what the fuck are you guys doing? You know? Again, they're showing reactions more than they're showing actual videotape because they don't got shit.
Jimmy, get him to the back. Get him to the back. Get him to the back. Let's get some fresh faces up front. All right, let me out.
They've got the gallows set upside this Capitol building. It's time to start fucking using them.
Start making a list, put all those names down, and we start hunting them down one by one. Traitors get guillotined. Mobilize in your own cities, your own counties, storm your own Capitol buildings, and take down every one of these corrupt motherfuckers. So we fucking need to have 30,000 guns up here. That's true.
He'll be back, he warns us. It's just chilling. I thank God for our
Well, I accidentally closed that, so what's your reaction so far?
Man, it's the same shit. Another day. They're going to continue to perpetuate polarization between minorities and other people and us and the general public. And when I say us, we're a group as like a whole, as an American nation. So the one thing I want to point out is what Major Dave would say was look at the Constitution. Look at the state's Constitution. Look at your rights and look at your ability to exercise your rights and don't let people censor you because this here, like Joe's saying, this is kind of abundance of a lot of blacked out screens of just shots of audio that you hear, and I think that how factual these reactions are. These guys, they put a green coat on them and sit them up there. You know what I mean? Like they could fabricate the entire story, to be honest with you, but it's not all fabricated. I believe that there's a lot of things that were put into play, and then now we're dealing with the fallout. So,
God for our democracy and our.
Alright, well, and we're still not sharing that yet. Give me a second, because I don't want to go there yet. I actually want to share something else before we go there. You made me think of a thing.
Yeah, so we could do another we'll move on to different topics quicker than
No, I mean, no, I want to keep going because this is the most important thing, but, well, there was something funny. I guess we already did all that. We're actually going to keep going on this bullshit. Because it's the way to go, and it's the truth of it, man. It's the most important thing you watch, because these assholes, like, haven't even stopped, like, they haven't even begun to start lying. Like, watch grown men cry for, like, the next 10 minutes, dude. It's gonna be the most despicable thing you ever saw. This asshole's done with his opening statement. It's gonna get worse from here. It goes downhill. That's the best of this. Like, that's the best of this it gets.
Republic. Let's do it. Just assault. But that man's warning reminds us that this threat hasn't gone away. It looms over our democracy like a dark cloud. Some people are trying to deny what happened, to whitewash it, to turn the insurrectionists into martyrs. But the whole world saw the reality of what happened on January 6th. The hangman's gallows sitting out there on our nation's mall. The flag of that first failed and disgraced rebellion against our union being paraded through the Capitol. The hatred, the bigotry, the violence. And all of it for a vile, vile lie. Let's be clear. The rioters who tried to rob us of our democracy were propelled here by a lie. As chairman of this committee, I will not give that lie any fertile ground. We need to understand how and why the big lie festered. We need to know minute by minute how January 6th unfolded. We need to understand how the rotten lie behind January 6th has continued to spread and feed the forces that would undermine American democracy. And we need to figure out how to fix the damage. It won't be easy, but I have tremendous confidence in the colleagues sitting to my left and right. These are men and women of courage and character. We did not ask for this, but the House of Representatives did its job to give this country its first peaceful transfer of power, and we will do our job now to make sure the peaceful transfer of power remains a pillar of our democracy. We cannot allow ourselves to be undone by liars and cheaters. This is the United States of America. My distinguished colleague from Wyoming, Ms. Cheney, is not the ranking member of this select committee, but because this investigation is bipartisan, it's important that we hear Republican voices as well. I now recognize Representative Cheney for an opening statement.
Thank you very much, Chairman Thompson. Thank you to all my colleagues on this committee, and thank you to each of the witnesses appearing before us today. It is because of you. You held the line. You defended all of us. You defended the Capitol, and you defended the Constitution and our republic. And every American owes you our undying gratitude. Every American, I hope, will be able to hear your testimony today and will watch the videos. The videos show the unbelievable violence and the inexcusable and intolerable cruelty that you all faced, and people need to know the truth. I want to begin by reflecting briefly on the investigation that we're launching today. Every one of us here on the dais voted for and would have preferred that these matters be investigated by an independent, nonpartisan commission composed of 5 prominent Americans selected by each party and modeled on the 9/11 Commission. Although such a commission was opposed by my own leadership in the House, it overwhelmingly passed with the support of 35 Republican members. It was defeated by Republicans in the Senate, and that leaves us where we are today. We cannot leave the violence of January 6th and its causes uninvestigated. The American people deserve the full and open testimony of every person with knowledge of the planning and preparation for January 6th. We must know what happened here at the Capitol. We must also know what happened every minute of that day in the White House. Every phone call, every conversation, every meeting leading up to, during, and after the attack. Honorable men and women have an obligation to step forward. If those responsible are not held accountable, and if Congress does not act responsibly, this will remain a cancer on our constitutional republic, undermining the peaceful transfer of power at the heart of our democratic system. We will face the threat of more violence in the months to come and another January 6th every 4 years. I have been a conservative Republican since 1984 when I first voted for Ronald Reagan. I've disagreed sharply on policy and politics with almost every Democrat member of this committee. But in the end, we are one nation under God. The framers of our Constitution recognized the danger of the vicious factionalism of partisan politics. And they knew that our daily arguments could become so fierce that we might lose track of our most important obligation, to defend the rule of law and the freedom of all Americans. That is why our framers compelled each of us to to swear a solemn oath to preserve and protect the Constitution. When a threat to our constitutional order arises, as it has here, we are obligated to rise above politics. This investigation must be nonpartisan.
Come on, whoever broke
What do you say?
I'm saying that there could be fucking plants all through that crowd, which there were. It's proven. There were federal agents, there were DA, there was everything. People that were just like supposedly to be there to protect the peace, whatever. No, this could have been orchestrated. They could have many hundreds of people, like when they said boots on the ground. It's like, I'm not talking about for the right, like the thing that people were trying to do, which is peacefully protest and actually make a difference in the world. I'm talking about people that are like setting up this to make it look even worse than it is. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, and it looks like
and
that it's the FBI agents, DA agents that like were the most,
that were
most aggressive
there.
people throughout the text messages and the planning stages.
They're
and
planted. They're literally, that's what they were there for, is just to incite the fucking shit.
Inciting the violence.
Yeah.
It's insane. You want to do something else?
Yes, let's move on to a happier place.
You want to play some music?
Yeah. But honestly, we just want to talk about these things because they're real, and that's what it is. And I think that we have an opportunity here to kind of spread some knowledge. And I know a lot of you guys can watch that on your own time, so we're going to work on like time segments, kind of blast.
My show's my show. This guy tries to make my show.
No,
better.
but I wish when I came on, can I just say what I would love?
Go ahead.
I've been on a lot, and I love you, and you're one of my best friends, so I can say this. I wish when I came on, you'd kind of let me kind of like /host with you, like co-host with you.
Host all you want, man.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying, because like I really do want to.
You got to step up to the
plate. But sometimes we got to like bring up some shit that we need to bring it up, and then let people figure it out.
Well, what do you want?
So I kind of feel like we move quicker.
You got some dumb alien shit you want to look at?
Not some dumb alien shit. No, I don't know. But I do know, I did want to share, what was that? There was this, recently Bezos went up into space.
His rocket looked like a dick. He looks like Dr. Evil. Dr. Evil had a rocket that looked like a dick. Yeah. That's a real thing.
No, and so Bezos, I just want to mention that for you guys. I know you guys know this shit, but one thing I want to say about it was right before that. What's the other guy who was up there for like 5 minutes? They're all flying around.
Yeah, Richard Branson.
Branson or Bronson, something like that. Yeah, no, so I think it's funny. They're getting all these fucking billionaires up in the
He has the Virgin Island, Virgin Mobile. He has an island right next to Epstein.
Yeah. No, it's fucking ridiculous. So, and then that's a connection. So Joe just made that for me. But then if you think about it, I've been playing a lot of this, a lot of like right and left, like just both sides of opinions. Like, so I kind of listen through the waves and then come from the garb. So, I'll listen to like weird shit, like, you know, like fucking people that are completely left, completely right, whatever it is. I don't even know how to explain it anymore. I don't want to even talk about that. But I think that like these far out opinions come back to haunt us because like everybody, that's perfect, that's beautiful. Everybody should be doing this. Everybody should be questioning everybody and looking at different things because that's the only way we make things better. You know, it's like at the end of the day, if we don't question this shit, and it's looking like nobody's questioning anything, and they're giving these reactions of testimonies, which is ridiculous. Have you ever seen that in court?
They're basically.
Have you ever seen that in court?
You haven't even gotten to like the bad part of this video. Like,
no, I know, but have you ever seen it?
Like they're already saying like he's like Big Chap was just like all their testimonies seem like they're fake. Like here, we'll skip past this like chick talking. We'll just like we'll skip to the first actual testimony.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I did that.
Courts become a political TV.
So they swear him in here. We're gonna watch it from here for a second because this is like the people want you to see this. Like the people
I'm
that
about
watch
to have
the
to roll,
show.
man. I gotta get going.
Well, it's alright. I don't care. You're gonna have to see it either way. Because I'm watching it. I'm watching it with them.
Man, it's already 8:30.
With or without you, we're watching this shit, motherfucker.
No, that's fine, dude. Yeah, I gotta make a quick appearance when we out. I'm gonna call my buddy, try to get him to phone in. So we'll talk to him.
Thank you. You may be seated. Let the record reflect the witnesses answered in the affirmative. Without objection, the witness's full statement will be included in the record. I now recognize Sergeant Bunnell to summarize his testimony.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Chairman Thompson, members of the Select Committee, thank you for the opportunity to testify regarding the attack on the U.S. Capitol on January 6, 2021. It is with honor and heavy heart that I come before you to tell you my story from a painful first-hand experience of what happened that terrible day at the Capitol. I'm providing this testimony solely on my personal capacity and not as a representative of the U.S. Capitol. It is imperative that the events of January 6 are fully investigated, and the Congress and the American people know the truth of what actually occurred, and that all those responsible are held accountable, particularly to ensure that horrific.
That guy's like dick.
No, pay attention to Homeboy because he's my favorite character in the whole story. Because every time they call on this guy in the free flow of it, he fucks it up. He only knows his story. He literally threatens the fucking former president during one part of his open questioning and dialogue. It's insane. This guy's radical as shit. And look at him. He's looking down, reading, has zero idea what the fuck he's talking about. Zero idea what the fuck he's even talking about. It's so bad. It's so bad.
A shameful event in our history never repeats itself. I applaud you for pursuing this objective. Even though there's overwhelming evidence to the contrary, including hours and hours of videos and photographic coverage, there's a continuous shocking attempt to ignore or try to destroy the truth of what truly happened that day, and to whitewash the facts into something other than what they all mistakenly reveal, an attack on our democracy by a violent domestic extremist and a stain on our history and our moral standing here at home and abroad. As a child in the Dominican Republic, I look up to the United States as the land of opportunity and a place to better myself. And from that moment I landed at JFK in 1992, I have tried to pursue that goal. Thankfully, I achieved that goal on many levels. I was the first in my family to graduate college, join the Army, and become a police officer. On July 23rd, 1999, the day before my 21st birthday, I raised my hand and swore to protect the Constitution of the United States. Because this country gave me an opportunity to become anything that I wanted. At that time, I already started basic training with the Army Reserves.
If this guy ain't the living fucking definition of sweating like a whore in church, I don't know what is. This guy is sweating, stuttering, covering his mouth. What do you think of? Does he sound like he's telling you the truth? Sounds like an asshole to me.
In fact, I raised my hand several times in ceremonies to pledge my commitment to defend and protect the Constitution of the United States. When I joined the Army Reserves, when I was promoted to Sergeant War in the Army, when I was promoted during my naturalization ceremony, and when my reenlistment in the Army, when I joined the United States Capitol Police, and lastly, when I was promoted to Sergeant 3 years ago, I have always taken my oath seriously. On January 6, 2021, I fulfill my oath once more, this time to defend the United States Capitol and members of Congress carrying out their constitutional duties to certify the results of the November 2020 presidential election. To be honest, I did not recognize my fellow citizens who stormed the Capitol on January 6, or the United States that they claim to represent. When I was 25 years old and then a sergeant in the Army, I had deployed to Iraq for Operation Iraqi Freedom. From time to time, I volunteered to travel on IED-infested roads to conduct supply missions for U.S. and allied forces and local Iraqi population as well. But on January 6th, for the first time, I was more afraid to work at the Capitol than my entire deployment to Iraq. In Iraq, we expected armed violence because we were in a war zone, but nothing my experience in the Army or as a law enforcement officer prepared me for what we confronted on January.
So what did you just say to me?
I said, we got to get rid of this shit. Well, I'm sick of this shit because it's disgusting and it's completely staged almost. Like this guy, like there's a girl behind him that looks like an android.
She looks like an actual fucking robot.
And like sitting there.
Blinking like a fucking android behind him.
So
like,
that's probably.
Yeah, look at that weird little Metroid behind his shoulder.
Yeah.
Blinking like a robot.
Hello. What's up, man?
January 6th. The verbal assaults and disrespect we endured from the rioters were bad enough. I was falsely accused of betraying my oath, of choosing my paycheck over my loyalty to the U.S. Constitution, even as I defended the very democratic process that protected everyone in the hostile crowd. While I was at the Lower West Terrace at the Capitol, working with my fellow officers to prevent the breach and restore order, the rioters called me a traitor, a disgrace, and shouted that I, an Army veteran and a police officer, should be executed. Some of the rioters had the audacity to tell me there was nothing personal, that they would go through me, through us, police officers, to achieve their goal, as they were breaking metal barriers to use as a weapon against us. Or they use more menacing language. If you shoot us, we all have weapons, we will shoot back. Or we'll get our guns, we outnumber you. They said, join us. I heard specific threats to the lives of Speaker Nancy Pelosi and then also Vice President Mike Pence. But the physical violence we experienced was horrific and devastating. My fellow officers and I were punched, kicked, shoved, sprayed with chemical irritants, and even blinded with eye-damaging lasers by a violent mob, who apparently saw us, law enforcement officers, dedicated to ironically protecting them as U.S. citizens, as an impediment to their attempted insurrection. The mob brought weapons to try to accomplish their insurrectionist objectives and use them against us. These weapons included hammers, rebars, knives, baton, and police shields taken by force, as well as bear spray and pepper spray. Some of the rioters wore tactical gear, including bulletproof vests and gas masks. The rider also forcibly took our batons and shields to use them against us. I was particularly shocked at seeing the insurrectionists violently attack us with the very American flag that they claim to sought to protect. Based on the coordinated tactics we observed and verbal commands we heard, it appears that many of these attackers had law enforcement.
The verbal commands we heard, bitch.
The riders were vicious and relentless. We found ourselves in a violent battle, desperate to attempt to prevent the breach of the Capitol by the entrance near the inauguration stage. Metropolitan police officers were being pulled into the crowd.
They're trying to glorify these people as war heroes. They're all fucking actual pussies that did not do their job.
As we tried to push the riders back for the breach in the Capitol.
Oh, did you?
My attempt to assist.
Were you on the video where they were letting them into the electromagnetic locks?
Officer by the back of the collar and pulled him back to the police line. When I tried to help the second officer, I fell on top of some police shields on the ground that were
just discarded police shields because you said that they were using police shields as weapons. Yeah, found that shit.
To pull me by my leg, by my shield.
Yeah, this really happened.
On my left shoulder. My survivor's instincts kicked in, and I started kicking and punching as I tried in vain to get MPD officer attention behind and above me. But they could not help me because they also were being attacked. I finally was able to hit the rider who was grabbing me with my baton and able to stand. And then I continued to fend off new attackers as they kept rotating and attacking us again and again. What we were subjected that day was like something from a medieval battle. We fought hand to hand, inch by inch, to prevent an invasion of the Capitol by a violent mob intent on subverting our democratic process. My fellow officers and I were committed to not letting any rioters breach the Capitol. It was a prolonged and desperate struggle. The rioters attempted to breach the Capitol were shouting, "Trump, send us. Pick the right side. We want Trump." I vividly heard officers screaming in agony and pain just an arm length from me.
Here's where he starts fake crying, but he's the worst actor on the squad, so watch him every time he gets up.
I too was being crushed by the rioters. I could feel myself losing oxygen and recall thinking to myself, this is how I'm going to die, defending this entrance. Many of the officers fighting alongside me were calling for shields because their shields had been stripped from them by the rioters. I was one of the few officers left with a shield, so I spent the majority of my time at the front of the line. I later find out that my wife and relatives were here in the U.S. and abroad. Were frantically calling and texting me from 2 p.m. onward because they were watching the turmoil on television. It was now
fake crying alert. Fake crying alert. Hold on, we gotta scroll it back.
One of the riders who reached the
Fuck that asshole. You don't get away with that bullshit.
Her life.
Where is that?
That I finally had a chance to let my own family know that I was alive.
Because law enforcement...
Oh, dude, they fucked it up, didn't it? That's alright. Well, hold on. All these people are fucking liars. Let's go back. So that guy crying like a little bitch. We'll go somewhere else randomly. Because there's so much of this crap. Let's go up in here somewhere. Yeah, there you go. Random spot.
The officers who were fighting to defend it. I believe had they done so, or had they accomplished that, they would have trampled us to death. Most certainly, you would have had police officers killed. I fought there at the front for some time. I was yelling out, you know, trying to inspire some of the other officers that were up there that were tired, telling them to dig in and push. And we started to make some progress. We pushed those guys out of the tunnel, out through the initial threshold. And I remember thinking to myself, man, it's good to get some fresh air. It was at that point that I was pulled off the line. That initial period of time where I was pulled, you know, off that line was kind of a blur. I just remember getting violently assaulted from every direction, and eventually found myself out probably about 250, maybe 300 feet away from the mouth of the tunnel where the other officers were at. And I knew I was up shit creek without a paddle. I was trying to push guys off of me, create some space, all the while
Muted the whole time.
That's fabulous.
It was muted the whole time. They didn't hear none of it.
Didn't get it.
They didn't get to hear a dang whiff of it. Not even a little bit. I mean, I remember we was going off something like, it was like,
got the soul addiction on the show.
RealMightyJoe, yeah. So mighty some, yeah. That's the way we go, yeah.
RealMightyJoe, gotta pick them all. Got a mighty on the mic, we feeling stuck. This is just the way we feel that. Bringing it back and you know that the folk just pretend that. The addition of all the underground. Feel the lyrics through the sound. This is the way that we turn it up. Keep that beat rolling, cause we feeling stuck all day. All along in the hallway. This is just how we stay. Feeling the way that we feeling. Passing it back to Mighty, boy. You know that we straight up chillin'. Come on. See?
Yeah, you know the way we do it. Yeah, we got to give praise to that music. And when she hits, I feel no pain. When that music hits, I feel no pain. Feel that natural mystic coming on again when it's jam. Sure, I feel no pain.
Feeling the way that I'm feeling. This is the way that we reach the ceiling. Me and Mikey just chillin'. All on the porch we wheelin'. This is the way that it go. Breaking it down and you know we lose control. I ain't gotta start cutting nobody down. Going on the mic and that's the instrumental. Phones, why they calling me collect? Living through the life, I gotta get it back. And yeah, you know what we contracept. Feeling through the vibes while we lose control. Separation through it while we break the road. I ain't got no problems, that we pay the toll. Build it up, we break it down, you know we got it. Hey, oh, hey, hey, oh, see, this is the way that we feeling. We gotta get back, and you know that we willin'. Mighty gonna beat the track, and yeah, you know we straight up just chillin'. Smoking the cigarettes while we drinking them beers. Breaking it down, and yeah, you know this atmosphere. Living this life, feeling this ride, giving this time. The way that we feeling, I gotta get back on my run. Me and Duncan just vibe. You know that we played a lot of shit up in your airways, but you need to see it, cause you gotta hear it. Everybody, they feeling just get it straight, but fight for your rights, we standing big. Fight for your rights, we making it big. This is the way we feeling, we gotta get back, and you know it's with. This is the way that it goes. I always go to the road. Back with the motherfucking MightyJoe. Come on. Boom spot. Nah, we did it good when I was good. I like doing shit like that with you. I miss playing with you, dude.
We did a goodie. We did a goodie.
That was
Every
fun.
once in a while we make
miss
music
playing
together.
with you, man. I really
This
did.
show used to be about us making music together. You remember? You remember?
Dude, I've never.
You remember
forget.
before
Yeah.
we was a new
That's all it
show
was.
and we used to make music together?
We just kept playing for
and
hours.
rap about the bullshit
And
and
all
rap
the
for hours.
bullshit. Yeah.
All the
Dude, that's what it was.
bullshit.
I got all the time in the world, man, to be honest. Like, I'm not even worried about it. I just feel like we need to make it more about that. And I think that as long as we're not muted, we're good. Like, my fucking, like...
We were muted for like
We did
hot
a
minute.
whole, like, 3-5-minute jam.
Dude, I did a entire fire ceremony basically the other day, muted last night. They all saw a picture of a fire, which was pretty cool. Because I was like, all right, like at least they see
But
the
no
fire.
audio.
But like I was like, I had my hands clapped together. I was praying. I was sweating like the whole nine, and then like I like looked up and I was like, I didn't record shit, so I did like the first prayer and then like closed the show last night. That's
How do
all I
you,
did.
can you, like, move it backwards instead of forwards? I know you can do that one, but can we do, like...
What are you talking about?
One that goes like this, like backwards. Can we? Is there anything to like? Because I feel like my hand is naturally curved for some reason. Like I have a pit in my hand, and like when I play it. Yeah, but not only that. Like I feel like these two have the most stress when I play guitar, and it really hurts. Like this hand, I don't feel like if I learned how to play guitar like this, I feel like it would be so much easier. Like I could just like fucking do everything, but this hand like can't do that. Like this hand knows that. So it's like, but I get crab claw where my hand like does that, and that's where it like fucking like I literally this shit right here, and it's like it's
all about repetition and what you do.
no, and I've done it for
body.
years, and it always happens. It's like I have carpal, like the onset of carpal tunnel or something. Look at all this cartilage built up in my hand. Look how immediate it is. Look at this. Like if I hit a straight fist down, look at me. Like that tiger palm, dude. That's a nasty one. Look at it. Like you've touched my hands. Look how fucking serious that is. Look at that.
Don't be a pussy about it. Fix your hands.
I don't know how to.
This is a picture of you right now. Talking about that shit. Right?
Fuck you.
Man, well, we're gonna keep going. Good. Oh. My name is Mighty. I like to speak on guitars like this. When I start to feel like this, I start to get red like this, and I start to become that realist. Oh, goddamn. I'm realizing that I'm overzealous, and I speak too quick, and I'm starting to overload my neurosynapses. The synapses gaps. Maybe I should slow it down a bit, so I don't become such a slow, slush mouth, panting, frantic. The whole picture that I'm seeing is gigantic. It's romantic. I am bringing you all into this in my heart space, and I love you, and woe is me. As I love that melody, I will sing, hey, 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 yay, hey, hey, I learned to do this. You put me through this, late day and night, through the pain that I feel when I go through this. As I sing it out loud and I unite the crowd and I get them all rowdy. Hey, mighty, mighty Irish man from the north bred, cold skin, thick as ice. Fuck that ice queen. Ain't got nothing to do with me. Your treachery. Fucking over in the Detroit League. Fucking your family. Got nothing to do with me. Hey, I inherit the earth because I am the meekest. Mighty Joe, I'm just a tweaker. I speak to the equal with this. I don't even know what the hell's going on. We dropped out the speaker with this. I'm crying like that guy in the fucking goddamn witness testimony that was like, yeah, speaker hit somebody else and then it fell on my foot. They're like, can we show the picture? Is it alright we show the picture of your crushed foot? Ew, crushed foot. It looked like a goddamn little crushed devil foot. Like fucking long, ugly toes. Something wrong with that guy's feet. You know, pay attention. They're lying to you every way they can. Nazi to that music.
That's not that song.
I don't care. It's always that song.
No, I'll play that song for you though.
Go for it.
You gotta let me start it off.
You got it.
You need to give a massage. My hands, they've been cramped. I haven't played in a long time.
Give me a massage of my hand. You sound like Joe Biden right now.
Fuck you. I don't like that fucking guy.
And nobody does. Nobody does. True story.
Alright, listen. Here, I'll play Hey though.
Well, here's a little song we wrote back in the day.
Don't have a clue, yeah, it's
Cause of me, not you.
It's the reason I'm so blue. So tired of playing these games. Fortune or fame, yeah, nothing at all. A man was making his name. Rise above the call. Rise above it all. Rise above the call. Rise above it all. I don't know what to do. See, I don't have a clue. Yeah, it's cause of me, not you. It's the reason I'm so blue. I'm so tired of playing these games. Fortune or fame, or nothing at all. A man must make his name.
There you go. I say hey to this music. I say hey to this music. I say hey to this music. And I say hey to this music. Cause you made me feel so good. Cause you made me feel so good. Oh. And I say hey to this music. And I say hey to this music. And I say hey to this music. Yeah. And I say hey to this music, yeah. Cause you made me feel so good. True. I say hey to this music because it makes me feel alive. And if I don't spit it right now, when I feel alive and I feel that electricity, then who am I? It was me. I'm just the meek. I do not speak for the meek. I am speaking for the meek, but I am not a meek man. A loud man. I am a proud man, and I will speak till my deathbed to make sure that the least among these will be heard and will be fed and will have water and shelter, like a true Christian would do. But I do not define myself as a Christian. I'm not a Hindu. I'm not a Buddhist. I'm not a Mohammedanist. I'm an independent individual, loving life, praying to the music, because she makes me feel so fucking good. Something like that.
I put it on the wrong. I got that one step down here.
That's the baboon coming in the back way.
Give me a high five before she comes.
And we're going to end the show and the broadcast. My baboon's home. We're going to celebrate the last bit of our freedom together. Love you guys. Thanks for joining us.
I love you guys.
That's the right thing to do. I love you guys. Peace out. Give it up for Soul, RealMightyJoe, and my babu who's probably already mad at me. I love you guys. Peace.